All right, and we're live. So this is an impromptu stream. This is a sample library walkthrough. Spitfire Audio just released their 10th anniversary of Albion One yesterday. I got it last night, installed it. So I thought we should just do a high-level walkthrough of it. And if anybody has any questions or want to see certain things, we'll definitely look at it. If you're an existing user to Albion One, this will be a free upgrade for you, which is always great when a sample library company does that and honors that, their existing customers. And if you're looking to buy this, it is $349 on sale now. So let's take a look at the desktop, and let's see. Let's do that view. I'm hoping everything sounds good. We might have to adjust some stuff here because I'm trying something new with the displays on I'm doing 1080p instead of the 4K. So anyway, so here we go. So this is the new stuff. If it's a cross grade, it is looks like $99. That's an amazing price. So it's $349 right now, I think until January 11th. So here's some of the new features. No additional new GUI. It's fully compatible with NKS support. Offers multiple mic positions. And so what's some new stuff here? What have they added to Albion One that wasn't there before? Right here. Let's go to the what's new. So the new UI design, like I said, it's NKS ready integration. They added 15 new combination patches for the orchestral stuff, combining different techniques and instrument groups in exciting ways. I've dived in a little bit here, and it's pretty cool what they did. They've added patches with like strings with brass and stuff like that. So they've added sections together in combination patches, which is pretty cool. They added a new additional island hits for percussion and new mixes by Jake Johnson, Stephenson Steam Synth, 63 new sounds, 67 presets, all by Spitfire co-founder Christian Henson. Brunel Loops, 78 new recordings across 8th, 16th, 12th rhythmic patterns, plus 90 new presets. So they've added some new stuff to the library as a whole. From what I can tell, the new GUI actually looks pretty good. It's really clean. I really like it a lot. So here's some of that stuff. But let's dive in to new Albion One. So here it is. They've changed the graphic here. There's the old Albion One, the original. I actually was fortunate enough to get that before they discontinued it. But they do offer the Legacy right here within Albion One, all the best patches, the ones that people used a lot. So let's go into the orchestral here. So we have brass high, brass low, brass mid, strings, woods high and woods low, the cog patches, combinations, that's the new stuff. Individual patches, the legato patches, run patches, and time machine patches. I'm actually a pretty good fan of Albion One. I do like brass shorts, so let's go into the brass lows. Actually, let's just start with brass highs and see how they sound. Apologize, that's my daughter. She's sick. So let's see here. All right. And so we got the short patches. We got the longs. So Albie, this is everything straight out of oh, I don't even think you guys can hear this. Hold on, I gotta switch this. There we go. Let me change my resolution. I forgot about that. Like I said, this is a very impromptu stream, so I apologize. Oh, no, that's not it. There we go. I think that. All right, technical difficulties. Why is that not showing up correctly? Hold on. I think it's this one. There we go. Okay. Perfect. So as you can see, it's a little bit smaller, but it works a lot better for me to do this stuff. So is anybody in chat? Please say hello if you have any questions you want to see on Albion. I apologize for the nightmare. Hey, that guy, how you doing? For some the restream's not working. All right, hold on. Pop out chat for YouTube. I'm like I said last stream, I was using Restream. I was testing it out. It doesn't look like it works very well. So let me go to this. I apologize for the crappy stream here, but like I said, this was very impromptu. All right. There we go. Good. Got the YouTube chat up. All right. Now you should be able to hear, right? You should be able to hear. I apologize for that. Okay, that guy says he doesn't have many albums, so he doesn't have much to talk about. That's good. There's a lot of people that probably don't have this library, and I think for me, when you're just starting out or you're looking for a library, I think Albion One fills that gap for you, and it's a great library to start with. This was actually my first library that I ever bought, was actually Albion One, the original one, right here. I bought it, I think, in September of 2015, right before they discontinued this version. So it's a great library for getting started, and you could pretty much do pretty much everything. Yeah, Lagoria, I think it's Lagoria. That I love that library. There's some really good stuff in there. I'm thinking about the next Composing with Coffee, since this was just released. That's Albion One. I'm thinking about just writing a whole cue with just Albion One. I think that will be the next one. But anyway, let's get back into this. So this is the brass highs. Hold on, I gotta pull up my keyboard here. There we go, to get the mod wheel. So I've noticed one thing about the dynamics in this. It goes pretty much to 0 all the way up, which is nice. That's cool that they included that. I don't remember if they had that before. All right, let's see. And so we got, that's the highs, and then you got the longs, you got the short octaves. Which sounds pretty good. This is everything just straight out of context, so there's no effects. This is how it is out of the box. And the long octaves. Sounds pretty good. I'm not a big fan of the... to me, it sounds very, like, sizzly. No, just by itself, but you know, if you put this in a context, I don't think it sounds as bad. But I do love the shorts. The short. They have a really nice, you know, snap to them. That's why I really like them. So that's the brass highs. Let's go to the lows, especially the brass lows. They're really good. I love them. They just have that meat to them. I think they're pretty cool. Let's see. So those are the shorts. Like I said, I'm not really a big fan of the longs. It starts sounding a little too synthy for me. Especially when you get your mod wheel way up there, you hear that little buzz. But in a context of a cue, I don't think you'd hear it as much. Hey, how you doing? I think it's Seigen. Seigen or Seigen? I hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong. My daughter's going crazy. Ooh, those are nice. The short nasties. Like I said, I love the shorts in Albion One. They're amazing, especially for epic music. Says he's a huge fan. Thanks for teaching me to disable tracks in Cubase. That saved my man. When I discovered that myself, it saved humongous time and everything. So yeah, that's how I build my templates and everything. So it was a huge lifesaver for me. I'm glad that you're a fan and you love the channel, and I helped you. That's the whole point of the channel. All right, so let's see. And by the way, anybody that's watching, if you have any questions about Albion, you want to see anything, just hit it in the chat. If you have any questions about anything, throw it in the chat. All right, so that was the short nasties. Here's the long nasties. See, it just sounds too buzzy for me. I guess I'm just so used to Cinebrass, I guess. But for epic music, you really do need that buzz and stuff. Yeah, let's try to keep it clean in the chat. Um, you know, keep it family friendly. I don't mind cussing, but let's just keep it clean to be safe. All right, so that's the brass lows. Let's see. Let's take a look at the brass mids. But I'm definitely thinking the next composing for coffee series, I think we're gonna try to write a cue all using Albion One. I think that would be amazing and kind of difficult because like I don't really use Albion One as much as I used to. I just added some stuff in my template. He said Stephenson says I write epic music too. Yeah, I'm not I try. I can't really write it. I mean, I could write some parts of it, but it never comes out like me trying to do epic music. So I wouldn't consider myself an epic music composer. That actually sounds pretty good. Why limit it to only Albion One? I don't know. Well, because the whole premise of Albion One, what Spitfire Audio says about Albion One, their marketing and everything, is that Albion One is the tool you need to write film scores. Like you could just use Albion One and you're there. Like you don't need anything else to write a film cue. So I want to kind of prove that. Like, okay, let's see if it actually works. Let's see if I can write a whole cue just using Albion One. Once we get into Albion One a little bit more, I think, because I know that guy, you're not very familiar with Albion One, you can see the power of it. And there's so much stuff in there, like right away that, it's kind of, the next component would be a challenge. So let's see if Spitfire Audio's, hey, if you have Albion One, you can write a whole cue with it. And I know you can, but it's just a challenge to me. You can write a whole cue using only Albion One for sure. Yeah, it is extremely powerful because it's got brass, it's got percussion, it's got woods, it's got strings, it's got synths, it's got everything you need. But it's just a challenge to me. Like, hey, let's just limit ourselves and let's use Albion One. All right, so the brass mids. Like I said, for me, Albion One, what I love the most is those shorts. Just brass. They just have so much dynamics. They're very responsive. So that's the shorts. But I'm noticing one thing is not a lot of the dynamics I'm noticing from it just seems like it goes from 0 to epic, but that's what they're going for. So that's what I'm saying. Like if you write epic music or bombastic tracks, Albion One's perfect for you because it's meant for that. It's kind of like Metropolis Arc, which I've not used and I really want to get it. From what I've heard, it sounds pretty cool. Has anybody used Metropolis Arc out there? Yeah, Segan, I'm really thinking about offering a feedback stream, which all the subscribers in the community, I'm thinking about doing it once a month. And like that's all we're gonna do is like people will send tracks, and then I'll review them, critique them, and it's not about like, oh, your track sucks, goodbye. No. It's gonna be positive feedback, constructive criticisms. Hey, how can you make this piece better? And also have the community come in and offer suggestions for your piece so you can grow as a composer. And and then what we'll do is I think we'll host it once a month, and then you can bring your track back if you revised it, and we'll go from there. I think that's going to be huge. I think a lot of people will like that. Just put it in the chat if you're interested in a stream like that. Obviously with these streams, they're going to evolve and change over time once I nail it down and we massage it out. But yeah, definitely coming here in the future, I think we're going to do that. We're going to do feedback streams. I think that's huge, and to help a lot of guys out and ladies with their track, and like let the community get together. So yeah, it's coming for sure. So when Segan says Metropolis Arc 1 is a FFF live, yeah, it's pretty FF huge. It is. But from what I heard with it, the brass and that the instruments in that library sounds great. And I love orchestral tools. I use Berlin woodwinds. They, to me, are still the best sounding woodwinds. They just sound so real, and just for me, I love them. All right, so that was the brass mids. Let's go to the strings. So these are all ensembles, if you haven't noticed. There's no solo instruments in Albion One. It's ensemble based. So, when you have the brass highs, it's like trumpets, maybe French horns, all gathered in. So when you're playing a note up high like that, you're not just playing a trumpet. You might be playing it however they have it sectioned off. Same with the brass low. It's probably tuba, trombones, stuff like that, bass trombone. And then your mids are probably French horns, trombones, maybe trumpet. So that's the beauty with Albion One, and that's why it makes it so simple for beginners, is because it's all ensemble based and you're not really thinking about instruments. You're just kind of playing the patches, which is great. If you just want to get started and get in there and start composing, it's beautiful. But, after a while, the more skilled you get as a composer and you start writing for orchestral pieces, it does get kind of limiting with the ensembles. But let's say if you want to use Albion One as a sketching tool, it's beautiful. And then go back and do the individual pieces and instruments for yourself. It works like that. Sika says, if anything, I'd recommend using Metropolis Arc 1 for only 2 elements, contrabasses and choirs. Yeah, I heard the choirs are good. Now, as you see, this is all real-time loading, and I have this on an SSD drive, so you can kind of see how much it takes to load some of these patches. I know when I was experimenting with this before I went live, I was doing the combination patches, and I uploaded all combinations, and it literally took like 2 minutes, I think, to load the freaking patch, because there's like so much into it. But my first sample library was this Albion One right here. And, so I really like Spitfire. I think their stuff sounds great. To me, they're like the Apple of Spitfire library, the Apple of sample libraries, because they like to keep everything contained. And I love their interfaces. It's very clean, and it's just great. So their strings are great too. So here's Picado. All right, let's get the dynamics all the way up. Forgive my playing. We're not here for playing. We're just here for sound and how the library stacks up. It actually is very responsive. I mean, I was playing that pretty fast. So definitely doing the ostinato stuff. This will be huge. How about the Ostinato Maker? Yeah, I haven't really used that. I've seen people, the Ostinato Maker. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I used it in the original Albion. It's pretty cool. Maybe we can dive into that here. Let's see. So we got the Picado Staccatos. I've been on an A minor kick for I don't know. I've been writing everything in A minor lately. I don't know why. But so there's those. Interesting. So the dynamics for the strings do not go to 0. I have the mod wheel all the way down. Now here's all the way up. Sounds the same to me. It's got vibrato, reverb, expression. I don't have the expression mapped to anything. Here's pizzicato. How about third dynamics? Same thing. The dynamics don't really do anything. So it looks like it's 4 times round robin I'm seeing down there. The pizzicatos. Pretty cool. Then we got the Calingos. Those are cool. Sika says, I don't like the articulation patches Spitfire produces. Sometimes it gets very overwhelming, as you can see, especially with strings. Yeah, you prefer the individual instruments. I do too. That's just from a Cinesamples because I really like Cinesamples and they break their articulations into individual patches. You could do that with Albion One. You just have to create a new track in Cubase and just click on this key switch here and just keep it like that. That's how you can do it. But, you know, it's going to get very intensive after a while. You're going to get so many freaking tracks. But, you know, Corsandino. I'll tell you, my favorite patch from old Albion was the octave. I think this is in here. Tremeloes. So they do have that one going. Very good dynamics on the tremelos. This one right here. This was my favorite patch. So if you want to do stuff like that, oh man. That's beautiful for that. Oh, I love that patch. Pretty sure you can navigate to that. No, they have individual. Yeah, they do. Individual sections and folders. They do. I forgot about that. Like I said, I haven't used Albion One in a while. I gotta get re-familiar with it. Ooh, that patch is cool. That low stuff, man. Albion does it very well. That's low octaves long. So that's the strings. Let's go into woods. Let me know if I'm going too fast or if there's anything else you want to look at. I know you said the Ostinato Maker. We'll get into that here in a second. I just kind of want to go through a high level of the library, or let me know if I'm spending way too much time on this. Looks like we're dropping a few people here. How's the sound? Is everything good? Everybody can hear everything? Actually, their woods sound pretty good too. Everything sounds good? Good. I said this was like an impromptu stream. I was like, man, let's just do a stream. Because I tried doing a video of this stuff, and I was like, man, it's just better to do a stream because everybody can ask questions and stuff like that. So they sound pretty good. So that's the shorts and the longs. So as you can tell from the way that the library is created, the woods lows. So when you hit a certain key, it'll switch to a new instrument. So sometimes that can be jarring, but it kind of teaches you orchestration with instruments. So that's kind of cool. All right. So that was the woods lows. Now, so it does have individual patches as we were alluding to earlier. So they got the brass high, long octaves, the long, short octave, short. So it does break it up into articulations. So if you're looking for that as well, it does have that. All right, so that's pretty much the orchestral stuff. It's got the combinations. So here's the combinations. I'm not going to open up the patch because it literally takes like 3 minutes to open. But what they're doing here, which is pretty cool, is it has high longs with strings long tremelos. So it's adding these two types of instruments together. It's got brasses with strings, which is pretty cool concept. And then we have, brass mid shorts with string lows. Here, let's open that one. I bet you that one's pretty cool. Looks like we're dropping some people. We had about 6 people. Now we only have 2 watching, so it must be boring. Ooh, that's cool. So that's kind of cool. It's a cool sound. So I guess this is just cool. Like you can mix up instruments and, get different sounds that you want. And like I said, it does kind of teach you some orchestration tricks that you can learn if you're not. It does it for you. It's doing the thinking for you, which is what Albion One is. Because most people just starting do not know orchestration. Like me, I'm not very good at it. I'm still learning, and it kind of does it for you, and it pairs the instruments that sound good together. So it's a great tool to get started. Composing, and where you don't really have to think about things. You just kind of pick a patch and run with it. So that's pretty much the orchestral stuff. It's got legato patches, which everything's broken out, and it's got individual sections here. So it does have everything broken up into patches. So if you're a key switch guy, definitely use the main patches, and then get all your key switches in there. But if you're not like one of those, you like individual patches, Albion One does offer that. All right, so let's get into some of the cool stuff here. Brunel Loop. So this stuff is actually pretty cool, and I never really used them, and I really want to, because they offer some pretty cool stuff that you can do for stuff in the background. So let's just open up a few and play with some of this stuff. So if you're looking for loops and stuff like that, like I say, you don't have Omnisphere, you don't have any synths and stuff, well, they actually offer some pretty cool stuff to get you started. That's pretty cool. All right, let's see. One's kind of boring. Let's see what else they got in here. Does anybody have any questions or anything? So I see they have 3 different sections here. It looks like they're just different rhythms. Yeah, they're broken up into different rhythms. So that's cool. So they offer a lot of patches here for the presets. Let's see. So that was the Christian Henson Brunel preset. So this must be the newer ones. So then they got these the warped ones. Hold on, make sure. Okay, there's chat. Let's see. Badass with mod wheel. Let's try that one. So as you can see, they offer a lot of different patches and a lot of things to get you started. Ooh, that's cool. Oh yeah, you could totally use this in a track. That guy says there's a little bit of lagging happening here and there with the stream. Okay. Ooh, that's a cool patch. That's actually a pretty cool patch. You could write something with that. Let me see. I have the stream option set as low latency. Okay. It's probably just my internet. Let's see. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, see, there's very usable patches in here. That's the thing. Everything's pretty usable. But I haven't really experimented with this. Like, I really want to. All right. Some of these sound very much stuff you would find in Omnisphere. Which is cool. That has some stuff with the mod wheel. All right, does anybody have any questions or anything? So that's extremely warped ones. Organic. I think I actually have used one of these before in a track a long time ago. Trumpet fiddle. I couldn't tell you which one though. So that's the loop stuff. Then it comes with construction kits. What else? Dev kits. Organic mutations. So it offers quite a bit of patches, which is always nice. So that's the loops. And then we got what everybody wants to know about, the percussion. So they said they offered new hits within the Easter Island one. So here's Darwin Percussion. And the one thing I noticed about Albion One, like if you want the Hans Zimmer percussion, it's similar, but I wouldn't say it's exactly. You know what I mean? Uh-oh, did we get a crash here? Hope not. So people that are watching, it's going to load up here. Should I have done this edited version or should we do this live? That's the thing about doing live sometimes, it's not all polished and you know what I mean? So it's like when you edit video and you can polish it and make it really cool. So like, but this is like real time things. You got your medals up there. You got your subs down here. They offer 3 different mics. The close, what's that? Ambient mics. Now the thing about Albion, if I remember, we start doing these mic positions, it could really start jacking up the memory. Those sound pretty good. So this patch has sub hits, low hits, mid hits, high sticks, and medals. Live is fine. Good. So, now I think if you're new to Albion, as you can see, this offers everything, but kind of limited, but you can get the job done. You've got your bombastic stuff here. Let's get rid of some of this mics here. So those are the close. See, this is the thing about, here's what the instrument actually sounds like. Those are closed mics. They always put it on the T right here. The tree mics. And then if you add the ambient mic in. I love those sub hits. My favorite are in Albion 2. So that's that. That's the Darwin Percussion. And you can turn, this stuff off if you want, I believe. Yeah. I believe you can. Dynamic, CC bass velocity. So if you turn that on, as you can tell, when I put my mod wheel down, all the way up, it changes the dynamics, which is huge for percussion. That's pretty cool. Ooh, man. That gets really... So pretty cool. So that's the Darwin Percussion Ensemble. Let's go to the Easter Island. So this is where they added some new hits, I guess. Oh yeah. Oh wow. That one's, I remember that one. Some of these are just like way overkill. That one's nice. Ooh. I like that one. So these are new. I don't remember these in the original or in Albion 1. That one's cool. This must be a boring topic for everybody. We're dropping people like crazy. Oh, it's clipping? Oh, sorry. Let me put the mic down. Hold on. Is that better? Well, these things, like, you got to be very careful with the Eastern Island on Albion. They clip. If you hit you got to put your volume down a lot, as you can see. So hopefully that's better. I'm sorry. Sorry for blowing out everybody's ears. Um, see, when you use OBS, um, it's very hard to get the levels right sometimes. So I apologize. So that's the Easter Island hits. But like I said, the new content was this stuff up here. Yeah, those, I don't remember those. So those sound pretty cool. All right, let's take a look at the hyper toms. I remember these being in there. Okay. So it's just toms. Then the triple, what's this? Xxl Percussion. What's this one? It sucks that I haven't used Albion in so long. So this is Octobands. I can't read that. Morse hits, metal bings, bins, bamboo. So it's just the odd percussion. So here's the legacy patches with this. It's from this Albion here, which I actually use in my template. The cymbals and the swells I use all the time. I love them. And the tams and gongs. The cymbals from the legacy are actually really good. Here, let's open. And it gives you exactly what you need, like those swell in cymbals and stuff like that. And they're not so, because I've noticed on some libraries the cymbals are just so freaking loud. These ones are actually pretty good. Like they're at a great volume. Right here. But like you've probably heard that in all pieces. It's probably very overused, but it works so great because it does the dynamic swell for you. Did the stream drop? Oh, there we go. Okay, looked like the stream drop. Sorry. Let's see. But yeah, I use these cymbals all the time. It's actually in my template. So it's cool that they include them. But it's from this Albion right here. And then they got stereo mixes of the Darwin and Hypertoms and stuff like that. That guy, a little off topic, but what do you think of ADO products? Do you own any? They have a campaign right now where they give out free sample libraries with, I think, $99 purchase. Yeah, I don't own any. I don't think those libraries really appeal to what I write. But I've heard some stuff, and I know a lot of people use them. So I can't really give a fair assessment because I've not used them myself. But I know a lot of guys do for like the epic stuff, like the choirs. I know they use the string stuff. But me personally, I haven't used them. I'm more traditional Hollywood sound. I like East West Hollywood Orchestra. I like Cinesample libraries, and I do like Spitfire. And then I know Sona Kinetic just released, or yesterday had the brass, Ostinato brass. They're for free. I picked it up. I haven't messed with it yet. But yeah, I haven't used any. I think their choir stuff is good for ADO. I know a lot of people have those. But to me, they just sound they're for epic music. They're just dun, 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 and I don't write that kind of music. So they're just not really my thing, I guess. So Stephenson Steam Band. So this is similar to the loop stuff. This is like the drone. Yeah, this is the drones and pad stuff. Oh, I remember this one after the apocalypse, I think. So this is the synthy stuff. The loops are just like little loops that you can put into tracks, like drum loops and stuff like that. Like if you need a metal thing. Oh, why isn't this? Okay, there it goes. It's loading this up. Anybody else have any questions? We only have 2 people watching. We had like 6 people watching, and everybody just bailed. I must have blew their ears out with those sub hits. I didn't know that it was that loud. And the cool thing about this, I think this is their ENDA synthesizer. That's an actual separate thing that you can buy. You can mix this up and you can play with knobs and do all this great stuff. So it's kind of like a built-in little synth in there. You know, it's like a little Omnisphere built in into Albion One, which is huge. Like I said, you could totally, you could totally write a whole cue with just using Albion One. Yeah, it started when you started playing those hits. Yeah, everybody bailed when I did the hits. So if you're watching the recap of this stream, I apologize. I'm sorry. Yeah, the clipping. I didn't look at my level. I should have looked at my levels. It's my fault. So if you stuck through this far in the rewatch, I thank you. I'm sorry. Like I said, I threw this stream together last minute. I was just gonna shoot a video, but I was like, man, let's do a live stream because then people can ask questions and. But the thing about with this stuff that's in here, after a while, a lot of people will start using this, and you're gonna hear it in tracks all over the place. So that's why you have to tweak it a little bit if you just use these presets. You got to be careful with that. So those are some drones. They got some pads in here. Epic Mellow. Epic to what's this one? Let's see how long so we're about an hour into streaming. Oh, not hour, about 40 minutes. So I don't want to go over an hour, but we'll wrap this up here and do some QA stuff, or if there's any special features of Albion. I mean, it's for the most part, this is pretty much the same Albion, just with a new interface and some added bonus materials. So it's nothing. They haven't really done an overhaul of it, as far as I can tell. They just added new patches and stuff like that, which is great. And like I said at the top, this is a free upgrade for any existing Albion users. You'll get an email and you can go down and download it. So this is the Albion Legacy. So that's this library here. As you can see, it's all the stuff that was in this library. But yeah, that's pretty much Albion One in a nutshell. So I mean, most of the stuff is pretty much similar to it before. The new UI is really great. I really like it. It's clean. So let's get a patch here. Let's get the strings. And so it's really nice. It's so different seeing, because before they had that big like eyeball looking thing right here, so it was very identifiable, like what Spitfire Albion One was, and now it's like completely different, but it's in line with the rest of their libraries. But as you see, I do have some Spitfire libraries. Got Albion 1, 2, Xxl Percussion, and that. It's just their libraries are very, very expensive. I would love to get Spitfire's orchestral stuff. It's just, it's almost as much as a computer. But yeah, so like the takeaways for me, what I think Albion One does best is it gives you percussion. It gives you all in one. And the strings, like everything that's short, it does it fantastic. I mean, to get that crisp and meaty like string and brass sound, a lot of libraries don't do that very well. So Albion One is definitely built for that, and which makes sense because it's meant for epic music, which you need that to do, like all that stuff, and it does it very, very well. So any questions or anything that I can cover or ask or show you in depth that I didn't show, I guess we'll move on to that portion. Because like I said, it's pretty much the same Albion. If you haven't had Albion One before, nothing's changed too much. I definitely would recommend you buying it if it's your first library or first couple libraries, because it gives you everything that you need. It gives you synth, it gives you percussion, it gives you brass, woodwinds, everything you need to write a cue. So what I'm thinking about doing in the next Composing with Coffee, like I mentioned, is we're going to write a cue just using Albion One. So please feel free to put your questions in the chat. I know they wanted to see the Ostinato Maker, so let's try to go into there. I think it's right here. Yeah, here it is. So what you can do is you can program ostinatos, so you don't have to play them in. You know what I mean? You could just do them here, what you do. So like, there's that. And then I can't remember how to play it though. I don't know if it's going to work. Here we go. Work without a DAW, but let's see. I think I might need to have this in a DAW to make that work, because it goes off of that, I believe. Let me see. Wrap around notes held. Because I think what you do is you can hold like notes like that, and it's basically like a there it goes. So it's kind of like a like in a synth, you know how you can, I forgot the name of them, but like, you know, if you hold down a chord, arpeggiator, it's kind of like an arpeggiator, but you can actually program it with musical notes, like, you know, eighth notes, whole notes, stuff like that. Have I done mock-ups with Albion One? Very early when I bought Albion One, I used to use it all the time because it was the only library I had. Like I said, when I first got started 2 years ago, it was like September something. I remember I bought this Albion One right here, so I used it all the time. Dr. Audio says my first Albion is Albion 3 Iceni. Not sure which is stronger for orchestra, but I like 3 and I do orchestral scores with it already. Yeah, I think Iceni was more for epic music, like that low, you know, the low brass, the low string stuff. I don't have that one. I actually want it. It does that very well, like the, you know, the ostinato, the dun, 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 you know, stuff like that we were doing with the, right, this stuff. So it does that very well. Hopefully I'm not clipping. Okay. So I think if Dr. Audio, if you're looking for an orchestral stuff to write for, I think Albion One can do it for you. But I think you're going to find limitations pretty quickly because it's ensemble based, so you don't have, you know, when you're writing a woodwind line with the woods, you know, it could be a clarinet, a flute, and, you know, an oboe all in that patch. So that's where your limitations is going to fall with this library. You can't write for individual instruments. You can't write just for a clarinet because it's an ensemble bass package. So like I think, like I said earlier, with the Albion One strengths is the ability to write a cue very quickly because you don't have to think about instrumentation. Of course, anything you play, the way that it's built is going to sound good. You know, they have it built that way. So you're kind of, let me choose my words here. You're kind of put in with like a fake sense of, not fake, but you know what I mean? It's kind of setting you up like, okay, it's going to, but you know what I mean? If you don't know how to write for those instruments, it's already done for you. So it's doing the thinking for you. You're just plugging in the notes. Hope that makes sense. So I think, I don't know what's all in Albion 3. I just remember it was the low library. Like it was all like, you know, low brass and low strings. And plus with ensemble based libraries like Albion One, I think they tell you how many instruments were recorded to make that sound in that patch. So you see what I'm saying? It's like it might be in that one note that we're hitting here. That might be. So there's the. That's the Ostinato Maker that somebody asked for. So that's what it does. So it basically, you know, you can write everything out and then just hold down the keys that you want. So that's what it will do for you. So it makes writing those ostinato parts very easy. I think of it as like an arpeggiator on like a synth or something like that. But yeah, Dr. Audio, I think, like I said, I think Albion One would be a great addition, but it depends, like, what other libraries do you have? If you have other libraries that are not ensemble based, then I don't know if it's really going to make a difference. Okay, so it has synths and loops besides the ensemble patches. So it's very similar. I mean, that's the thing about Albion. The Albion series is very, you know what I mean? Like, it's just clear cut what they are. Like, Albion 1 is for epic music. Albion 2 is more soft kind of music and delicate, and then Albion 3 was like the bombastic, like hard, very dark, strings and dun, 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 stuff like that with the low brass. And I think what is it, Albion 4 had more of that ambient kind of sound. So they all like very niche based, which is great. But if you can have all the Albions, you pretty much have all your bases covered with what kind of cues you can write. But yeah, like I said, that guy, I haven't done any mock-ups recently. I just kind of use elements of Albion One within my cues. Like I said, I use the cymbal stuff. Sometimes I use the percussions like the sub hits because I really like them. And but other than that, no, I've never really made a mock-up with just using Albion One, except in the early days when I first got it, because that's all I had. So that's why I'm saying for composing with coffee, I think would be great to write a whole cue with just using Albion. So we'll look for that. Hopefully, probably next week. I don't know. With the holidays coming up, I'm not sure. Anybody else have any further questions? Because I'm going to probably cut the stream when we hit about an hour. There's no need to go any longer. I just kind of wanted to have it open-ended so people can ask questions, and if they've never used Albion before, that they can kind of see what it offers and give my opinions on it. And it said, like, anybody that's watching this in the replay, thanks for sticking through the whole thing at the beginning, because like I said, this was just thrown together really quickly. I was trying some new stuff and had some glitches and all that, but I really appreciate it. Let me see, make sure I didn't miss any questions in the chat. But I'm sorry for blowing your ears out with those sub hits. That was I should have checked my levels. All right, if nobody has any further questions, I think we'll end this stream. Let's give it another minute or two because there's a little slight delay in feedback. But overall, I think for people that are existing Albion One users, I think there's some good stuff here. And so how are the strings in Albion One? I think they're pretty cool. Well, I have the string patch up right now. Let me go back to this. So the shorts, the spiccato. Oh, how are they split? Actually, I don't know. Let me pull up Spitfire's website real quick, and we'll find out. Sometimes they don't list that stuff. Sometimes sample libraries don't give you the exact number. So as you can see here, this is what start scoring movies now with Albion One. So that's their marketing, and it's Epic Composer tool. So this is meant for Epic composers. So at least 109-piece orchestra is what it was recorded with. Let's see if they give the breakdown of sections. See, I don't know if they do or not. They might. What's new? Well, let's check. Okay, here we go. Brass high. And these are all the patches. Just definitely go over to Spitfire Audio Albion One to check out, everything in detail. Let's see what the frequently asked questions are. Which we've already covered that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think... Yeah, it doesn't list... I'm sure you can find out somewhere, but it doesn't list it, how it's split. If I remember correctly, I think maybe 16 on strings, I think. If I remember... I'm trying to remember. But a lot of sample libraries don't really tell you sometimes, which is weird. But I'm not seeing it right on the website. So I don't know that guy exactly. But yeah, so I mean, for existing users, I think, if you still use Albion One, there's some great additional materials that they've added, like some of the new percussion, Eastern Ireland hits. Like I said, the ones that I was doing and blowing people's ears out. There's some new ones in there that sound pretty cool. And then they just added new loops and the synth stuff, which is pretty cool. And then the combination patches, which we didn't really go into. You know, well, we kind of did, but I don't know if I would use those, but I might. But yeah, so I think that's good. I think we covered a lot here. We're almost on an hour. But yeah, let me play some more of the string stuff. I think what it does, like I was saying before, what I think Albion does really well is the Picado Staccato stuff. I mean, that's pretty fast, and it still sounds pretty good. And I love the pizzicatos too. Colingo, they used to have this patch. I think it's this one. Oops, down here. But they have a high patch with octaves, and I used to use it all the time for melodies, to do melody lines and strings. And sometimes I go to that patch just to do it because it's already orchestrated for me, and I don't have to do it myself if I just want something quick. So I do use that patch. That guy says I'm not that into epic stuff, so which is why I looked into Albion 2. The strings in that are, oh yes, Albion 2. There's a patch called Flottando. I use all the time in Albion 2. I love it. And then the horn right here, this horn and the sax butt, like those, I love those instruments. They sound amazing. Oh, they sound really good. I'm hoping a Spitfire does a revamp of Albion 2 and updates it a little bit, and it gives it another overhaul because it's a great library. But like I said, when I first started, I bought Albion One just because I heard such great things, and everybody that I talked to said you should start with that library because it has everything for you. And it's, I don't think the original Albion was so epic focused. You know what I mean? So now it's a little more niche based. That guy says the strings in that are amazing, even though they're ensemble patch. Yeah, they're. I love Albion too. Like I said, the Flottando patch I use all the time. That's one patch I use from all the Albions I own, which is only 2 or 3. I use it all. I use it a lot, more so than anything else. All right. So anybody have any other questions? If not, I think we can end the stream before it gets too boring. I mean, there's not much more to talk about in Albion 1. Like I said, it's pretty much the same library with just some added new functionalities in the UI. So if you already own it, you pretty much are familiar with it. But if you're new, like I know some people in the chat, they don't own them, and is it the library right for them? I think if you're into epic music and you're looking for a first library, it's a great start to get you started. That guy says, when's the next Composing with Coffee? I'm glad you're into it, man. I think it's something that's going to catch on, that people are going to start liking it. Like I said, probably next week, maybe next Monday. Since we didn't do it this week, I did the composer talk instead, because I know a lot of people had questions and stuff. So, but yeah, probably next Monday. I will definitely put a scheduled stream for that. But I like to keep it on Mondays. But like I said, eventually it might shift to a different day. I don't know, but most likely Monday. And I think what we'll do is we'll write a piece using Albion 1. Give us that challenge, and we'll do a new piece. I actually was working on that piece that we did for the last ones this morning. I was working on it a little bit. I tightened up that second part of the melody. Now I need to go into the B section, so I'm playing with it here. But yeah, so next Monday. All right, so I think we're going to end it there. It's been an hour. I don't have much more to talk about. And if nobody has any other questions, if you've made it this far, thank you. Also, thanks to everybody that's a subscriber and in the community. That's what we're trying to build here. I'm trying to help you to be a better composer and to make composing more simple or made simple, so we don't have to sit here and we're supposed to concentrate on the music. So that's why I do the quick tips and all that stuff, is to help you. Just another side note, if you go over to my website, toddkedwards.com, I offer coaching on template building. So if you need some help, you're just getting started, set up a free consultation and we'll see what your needs are and we'll see how we can go from there. I'm thinking about adding some more services in the future. I will let you know about that, but just head on over there. And as always, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. And as always, I'll see you on the next video or the next live stream. Thanks again, and I really appreciate everybody's support. Take care.